Hey, people, listen. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Listen, I didn't come through last night for trending topics because Diva was in the streets yesterday. Yes, I was. I was in the streets yesterday. I went to the Sherry Shepherd show. You know, every now and then I go and I go see the shows, okay? Because y'all know I'm that close to the city, right? So I went and saw the Sherry Shepherd show. And listen, it's not their giveaway time at the talk shows, but sometimes around this time they give away a little bit of stuff. I'm drying my hands because y'all, I'm engaging in a tea moment. And I got this free cookbook yesterday at the Sherry Shepherd show. So shout out to Sherry Shepherd. And hey, Adiva had a good time. So I got home last night. I went with friends. We had dinner afterwards, and I was like, you know what? I just can't go live tonight because I'm tired. Diva was tired, okay? I was in the streets and I was tired. But, you know, before I get into today's show, can I say to everybody, all the veterans out there, happy Veterans Day. God bless y'all. Thank you for your service. You know, whether you did it a long time ago, recently, whatever, you know, blessings to all of y'all. And thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Increase Matters. That's right. Happy Veterans Day. So y'all in that chat, shout out to the veterans, you know, give the veterans and show the veterans some love in the chat. You know, two of the panelists that comes through all the time are veterans, Wayne Gamble and Katrina, who is also serves as my moderator. They're veterans. Yeah, thank you, Increase Matter. Thank you for your service. So we thank y'all, and thank y'all for, you know, showing the Diva love. My two veterans that show the Diva love, that, you know, come through and hang out with me all the time. I much appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. You know, so tonight's trending topic, the title is called Outrageous. Outrageous. Let me tell you something. If we gotta, you know what, we have fun over here, right? But we also got to learn from each other. And the thing we really got to learn is close your legs to marry men. I don't know how many more times we can say it. Close your legs to marry men. And if you meet somebody and they're in a situationship, say no to that nonsense too. You're worth more than that. You're worth more than that. And people in these streets, they're losing their mind. The side chicks are losing it. I don't need no side chick coming and taking my life. You can have them. I promise you that. If you and the Diva are ever talking to the same person and I have no clue, guess what? Don't worry about me. You won. Tag, you're it. I don't want a cheater. I don't want STDs. I don't want a liar. I don't want somebody that could do that to somebody else. You're an adult. If you're done with the other person, let the other person know. If you marry, come at me maybe when you could show me some divorce papers. Other than that, I'm good. So this TikTok star, across her Instagram and TikTok, she got about 3.5 million followers. She in North Carolina. And listen, you better know the rules of your state, because they said ignorance of the law is not an excuse for not knowing the law. You better know the rules in your state. She in North Carolina that believe in this alienation of affection in that state. So she messed with someone that used to be her friend, husband. The estranged wife, the ex-wife, sued her, and she won $1.7 million. Now, let me tell you something. We're grown adults here, right? It's late. And maybe one night we're going to have Yes, she does, Miss Wilson. Maybe one night we gonna have after dark show. And when I say after dark, it ain't gonna get that wild because you know the diva don't even really go there like that. But maybe one night we're gonna have to have after dark show. Come on, Felicia, give me the words here. Ignorance of the law is not a defense. Come on now, boom. And I'll say it as clean as I can for YouTube. There is no P in this world that is worth $1.7 million. And you want to know how ridiculous this chick was, Brenay? She was her own lawyer. And there's another saying. They said a person that represents himself has a fool for a client. You on TikTok with in Instagram, and between the two, you got 3.5 million followers, and you can't pay for a lawyer. You have got to be dumb, stupid, or both. You straight up was your own lawyer, and you lost. Then at the end, you know what she gonna say to me, that which I thought was even more stupid? She gonna talk about that, well, that girl will never see a dime of that money. You a fool. I mean, even if you thought that in your head, that I don't care because I ain't never gonna pay her. You a fool to say that on camera. I'm telling y'all right now, it ain't worth it messing with nobody's husband, even if you're not in one of these states that recognize this alienation of affection law. Being with somebody else's man brings nothing but trouble, deceit, and heartbreak. Because now these people are coming out here and they find it necessary to take your life because you and them are sleeping with the same person. No, let me tell you up front, you can have him. I'm good. Wonder what she's sitting thinking now. When you owe a $1.7 million judgment because you were sleeping with somebody else's husband. He has since married this new chick. $1.7 million. Listen, y'all gonna be up day and night making TikTok videos, tutorials, unboxings. Get dressed with me, go to sleep with me, watch me help how I try to figure out how to pay $1.7 million. And you know how on TikTok they like to do part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10? She needs to start doing the parts to her figuring out how to pay back $1.7 million. And you talking about she never get it? Girl, that girl could sue and have TikTok instead of sending the check to you, sending it to her. Girl, wake up. That's some expensive aid plan. You ain't never lie. I would never. You can have him. I'm good. Now, you know, over here, I welcome everybody. I don't care if you black, white, yellow, orange, green, whatever. I love everybody. Come through, hang with the diva, hit the like button, subscribe, do all that. But I got to talk to the black folks for 1.2 seconds. Y'all know how to act a fool at a funeral. There was this one, I think he won a season of So You Think You Could Dance. Unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of people, the mental health is real. He took his own life. One thing they said he went in front of a train, lost his life. I don't know what the problem was with the family and the ex-girlfriend, but now is the day of his homegoing service. Whatever, you know, they call it different things. They call it funerals, the homegoing service, the celebration of life service. And the ex-girlfriend comes there. And they had an open casket. And she bends over to kiss her ex-boyfriend, who she loved. goodbye and put a note in the casket. Well, somebody there didn't like it. They snatched her up and they get the fighting at the funeral. The cops had to be called. I guess she wanted to listen to Increase Matter. I don't know. I guess she wanted him to note to go to heaven. I don't know. Or maybe her last note telling him, we broke up, but I still really loved you. I don't know what the note said. I know the cops came and then they left. And then the cops got called back again, and now the cops got to stay at the funeral to the bitter end because these people are fighting. I often, and I don't know this for a fact, of course, but I often believe in my head when you go to a funeral, the people who funeral you at, they down looking down to see like what's going on at my funeral. And if that's the case, I know he was looking down and he was like, this is a darn shame. We're going to talk about it. And then the last story, you know what? I will never, ever, ever in my long-legged life understand why people will go and travel with a 10K worth of jewelry or all of this expensive jewelry, and you're not Beyonce, Jay-Z, Will Smith, where you get on your own private jet. Are you not one of these celebrities that have security with you? Why are you, the average everyday person, getting on Southwest, United Airlines, or whatever, JetBlue, and you got 10K worth of jewelry? Somebody got to help me out and make it make sense. Make it make sense. He said he was going to the airport. I forgot where they was going. They going somewhere. They going to visit somebody. And he liked his expensive jewelry. He had the watches, whatever else, the rings, whatever else the case may be. He passed the bag off to one of the airport people. And the next thing you know, when he got to, I think they was going to Jamaica. They got to Jamaica, and now his bags are missing. I think he was going to funeral. They had to go to the funeral with the clothes he traveled in. And then when he reported it to the airline, he lost $10,000 worth of stuff, and they only got back $1,200 because they was asking him for receipts, and he bought it years ago, and he didn't have the receipts, and it was this whole long story. Now, when I travel, first of all, I already told y'all my earrings ain't worth a dime. They come in a pack from Target or Walmart, whatever store I see them in. They're very lightweight. And I do have a couple pair of earrings that's worth a little something. But anytime I go travel, these are the earrings that I have, and I have them in different sizes. And that's it. If one get lost, one drop out, they fall out, whatever, I'm not losing my mind. When I get back home, I go back to the store and buy me another pack, and that's it. Because I used to wear, not, when I say expensive, not like 10K expensive. I used to wear more expensive jewelry, and then I'd be looking around like, oh my God, my earring just fell out. I don't know where it's at. So I said, oh, well, no, forget that. Go get me a little cheap pack, and that's it. I got a nice ring, real ring. I don't really wear that a whole bunch. And I do wear my bracelets. Now, my bracelets are real. But I'm careful where I wear them to. And when I go on vacation, I don't bring, or I pick and choose. What am I going to bring from here? Because I don't want it to get left in no hotel. I don't want it to get lost. None of that. The point is, though, why are you traveling with 10K worth of jewelry? It's an expensive lesson to learn, but he only got back $1,200 and change. And all I could say to him is, who told you to go with all that jewelry? And his wife was traveling with him. If you a man listening to the podcast tonight, close your ears. But you know what, wives, we already know you got to help these men out. Honey, don't we just go on to Jamaica real quick. Don't bring all that jewelry with you. Wear the watch you got on, and the one ring maybe, and your necklace, if that's what you do, and that's that. Don't be bringing all this expensive jewelry so they could bop us upside the head. And then plus, when you go through TSA, don't you got to take it all off? Don't do it, sir. He tried it, but they said no. You ain't lying, I'm gold. He tried it. They said not today. And you know what's so sad? I'm be honest with you. Half of these places, he's probably good guy, increased marriage. Listen, he probably was thinking to himself, he just like to change things up. Well, he learned. And I'm gonna tell you right now, too, snakes on the plane. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now, too. Half of these insurances, I told y'all before when we talked about the Wendy O'Cephal story, half of these insurances, they don't want to pay you when you really got a legit claim. It's terrible. Like you legit in a car accident, and they're like, well, whose fault was it? What did the police say? Did they give you a ticket? Did they give the other person a ticket? Oh, you still got to pay your $500 deductible. You like, yo. And then, even when it's a legit accident, that next year, your insurance is going up anyway. It's a whole scam, a scam we have to participate in, but it's a scam. Pissed me off. The accident wasn't even my fault, and now I get my bill next year, and it's higher because of that accident that they caused. But listen, people, I done talked enough. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for me to bring the people in the building. So I need a what in the chat? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Tuesday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is called Outrageous. We got the TikTok star. Her husband cost her $1.7 million. I hope he's worth it, okay? We got the funeral fight, and we got the 10K jewelry loss. Let's bring the people on in the building. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Julius. Hey, Katrina.
Hey, y'all. Hit the like button, and to the veterans, especially to Katrina and Mr. Wayne. Happy Veterans Day.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate it. Hey, Diva. Hey, panel. Hey, Chad.
Hey, yes, happy Veterans Day. All right, people, I'm going to go ahead and start out with this TikTok star's story. She's a fool, but I keep trying to tell people, stop, sleeping with married men. It's not worth it, literally. Let me see, where is it at? Here she is.
And a $1.75 million verdict that nearly ended with a fight outside the Durham County Courthouse. That was not the fight. That was the joy inside the courtroom. We're talking about the case of North Carolina TikToker Brenay Montague. She was sued by her now husband's ex-wife. Tonight, a jury found Montague liable for destroying the couple's marriage. WR's Eric Miller was in court and has the story.
That's the sound of a $1.75 million cheer coming just moments after court was adjourned. Akira Montague embraced her attorney, Robinetta Jones, as dozens of supporters yelled from the sidelines.
She has received justice from losing her husband and the father of her children.
Akira Montague's lawsuit, filed in Durham County Court, accuses Brenay Montague, an influencer with nearly 3 million followers on TikTok, of seducing and having an affair with her then-husband, Tim. That affair then turning to marriage when Brenay and Tim wed. In the suit, Akira Montague claimed Brenay used her online influence as a weapon. The affair also caused damage to her health and deprived her kids of a two-parent household.
And it was nothing but lies.
Brenay Montague, who represented herself in court, slammed the verdict, saying Akira Montague knew her marriage was over and allowed the affair.
She gave her consent. She said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done.
But the jury didn't agree, awarding Akira Montague the $1.75 million after more than 700 100 pieces of evidence were presented in court, including some of Brenay's own TikToks and texts.
That says that my client was telling the truth.
The case hinged on two rarely used laws, including alienation of affection.
It can be very hard to prove, and the reason is because it's hard to find a point in a relationship where the relationship necessarily started to go bad.
But in these videos and in the court testimony, the jury found that point, leaving Brenay Montague with a hefty bill and no answer on how she'll pay.
I don't know, but she'll probably never see it.
You legit gonna sit there and say she'll probably never see it? I mean, you have got to be stupid. And you the one that got yourself. You the one that got yourself in this nasty mess. Hold on one second. I want to show a little more. Then I'll go around and I got a little more to pray. Mr. Moore, absolutely beautiful. I checked my email. Beautiful. Hold on, people. TikTok star Brenay Kennard, you had an affair with my husband. Pay up. So North Carolina-based influencer learned about how rough breakups can be on Monday when she was ordered to pay $1.75 million after being found liable for ruining a marriage. Brenay, who got 3 million followers on TikTok and another 274,000 on Instagram, has been accused of having an affair with her manager, Tim, which apparently broke up his marriage, and his now estranged wife, Akira, reports to the news. Akira, who married Tim in 2018 and has 2 kids with him, brought a civil lawsuit against Brenay after Tim started seeing the influencer. Akira claimed the affair caused plenty of anguish in her personal life and negatively impacted her family dynamic. Brenay was found liable for criminal conversation, which carries a penalty of $250,000, and alienation of affection, which came with a tab of $1.5 million. FYI, North Carolina's alienation of affection law allows estranged spouses to sue the individual they blame for breaking up their marriage. It's one of a few states with this kind of law. Akira's lawyer, Robinetta Jones, issued a statement at the verdict, saying her client had received justice with the verdict. Brenay didn't feel the same way, though, and she claimed Akira knew her marriage was over with and let the affair carry on. Well, honey, whether she knew or not, a jury of your peers have spoken, and you owe $1.7 million. Wayne, your thoughts?
You know, I think if she just invested a little bit of money in the lawyer, she could have beat it.
She probably could have.
Because I haven't heard of a case like this. I heard of alienation of affection, but haven't heard about anybody winning. So I think she's taking just a little bit of money. But now I think she better get that husband and get him out there doing some TikToks. That girl may not get 1.7 million, but she can really make your life miserable. Every time one of them checks come in, it comes to her. That's it.
Thank you so much. Julius, your thoughts?
I love how confident the girl is. Does she realize every time she receives a check, it's going to be automatically garnished towards her debt?
It won't be automatic. The girl is going to have to sue her to get it if she doesn't pay. If she doesn't pay, and she says she ain't gonna see a dime, but it's not.
Well, she just helped her prove her case of her intentions, and it's gonna make her like. It's like people are so stupid and dumb nowadays. Like how we said with the Diddy trial. Just to refresh, lawyer, speak to your lawyer. If your lawyer tells you don't say squat, don't say squat. This girl was dumb and stupid for thinking she could represent herself, and this is the result. She should have got a lawyer, and the lawyer would have told her, keep your mouth shut. I got this. Like that other girl. She had her lawyer. Her lawyer was doing the talking. We didn't hear her say squat.
Absolutely. Don, I'm coming to you. Give me 1 second. I am going to just play a little bit of this. And she should have just waited till he got a divorce. But, nobody respects it anymore. They think it's a joke.
Out of my milkshake.
Pick it up.
I'm driving. Boy, when does that ever stop?
Who's she talking to, bro? Chill out.
Tim, when does that ever, Tim, please? No. When does that ever stop you from picking your drink up?
A bombshell lawsuit and a bombshell trial. A woman sued a social media star for having an affair with her ex-husband and destroying their marriage. And while not available in every state, North Carolina actually allows people to sue for this. And wait till you hear what happened at trial, where this online influencer who represented herself questioned the woman suing her. This was an intense showdown that all culminated with a major verdict. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Now, as we're talking about laws that you may not have heard of, here's a fun fact that you might not have heard of. Did you know that chips were cooked in tallow until the 1990s? See that? Lime, churro. These are amazing, okay? They're amazing. Contract, intentional infliction of emotional distress, assault, battery. I will tell you right now, I feel fairly confident in saying I don't think we have ever covered a lawsuit like this one before, where you have a very popular TikTok star who is being sued by a woman who claims that she essentially stole her husband from her. And believe it or not, in the law, there is an actual specific claim or claims you can sue for. I remember studying this in law school. I hadn't thought about it since then. And it was only now when I hear about the story that I remembered it. A few states recognize it. It's called alienation of affection. And you can also sue for something called criminal conversation, which is a claim here too. It's basically adultery. You can sue when someone has sexual intercourse with your spouse. And we're going to talk about this. This is a real thing. It is a real thing in the state of North Carolina where this is happening. So back in May of 2024, Akira Montague filed a $3.5 million lawsuit against viral TikTok star Brenay Kennard. She's got over 274,000 followers on Instagram, nearly 3 million on TikTok, talks about her life, get ready with me videos, doing product reviews, makeup lessons, and so forth.
Hey TikTok. So I have a couple things that I got from the TikTok shop that I want to show you guys. First up, this hydrating tint. If you don't want to wear a foundation, this would be great for you. If you've had this before, heard this brand, let me know.
And sometimes she appears with her husband, Tim.
Hi guys.
What's up, y'all? Hello.
We on here? Hey
What's
guys,
up, y'all?
it's Brenay.
It's Tim.
And now Brenay and Tim have found themselves in Akira's legal crosshairs. Akira sued for something called alienation of affection. And basically, it's alleging, you are responsible for my marriage ending. In North Carolina, which is only one of a few states that recognize this, you have to prove there was a real affection, real love between two people in a marriage. There was clear proof that a third party intentionally interfered with that marriage, and that the love, the marriage, the affection, it was destroyed, meaning the love was, quote, alienated. Is that easy to prove? Is it easy to prove in this kind of case? And you know why we're talking about this right now? Because the trial just happened. We actually just got a verdict on how all of this played out. Plus, Brenay represented herself during this trial. And before we even get into the trial, back in September, got to mention this, Brenay was charged with cyber stalking after Akira filed a formal complaint against her, accusing the social media star of harassing her online, showing up places, a filing saying, quote, Kennard constantly mentions my name, as well as posts my name and answers questions pertaining to my personal life and pending cases. And there was also an allegation that Brenay violated a restraining order that Akira took out on her. Now, Brenay was released at the time on a $2,500 bond. But when we talk about bad blood, it should also be noted that just days before Akira filed her lawsuit against Brenay, there was a warrant that was issued for Akira's arrest, that she was purportedly threatening Brenay by allegedly saying, I will kill you, and I will beat your bleep, and I know where you stay. This is according to the warrant. So in that criminal case, by the way, prosecutors allowed for Akira's prosecution to be deferred in exchange for 12 months of unsupervised probation, and she had to complete anger management classes and have no contact with Brenay. Bad, I know. So let me bring...
All right, it's so much to this. I just wanted to add a little bit more information before we continued on. Dadon, your thoughts, and welcome in the building.
What up, everybody? So I have been engulfed in this story since the very beginning. And I'm not on TikTok or anything like that, but my daughter told me about it.
Okay.
And it's a lot. So Brenay, and there's a guy named Devin that was Brenay's ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
And there was Tim and Akira. Tim and Devin are cousins.
Oh my God.
Akira and Brenay went to school together in high school. All four of them went to school together in high school. So Devin and Brenay broke up because Akira and Brenay were good friends. They allowed Brenay to move in with them. So Brenay will make all of these videos twerking on Tim while Akira was at work because she was the only person working. And long story short, so one day Devin was there to see Tim, and Devin heard Tim say, told one of his kids to bring a wipe in the room, like a baby wipe. So they brought the baby wipe in the room to clean off Tim and Brenay. They were having sex in Akira's house without Akira knowing. So she was doing all of this, calling herself Mrs. Montague, while he was still married to Akira. She couldn't, it was one point in time where Brenay was posting Akira's kids, had Akira kids calling her mom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and when the kids got back to Akira's house, they were calling Akira. So the kids were confused. So she put out some type of papers on her where she couldn't post the kids anymore and couldn't say their names. And let's see, what else? So right now, since Akira won her lawsuit, now Devin is suing Tim for the exact same thing. Devin has the same lawyer that Akira had.
Oh my gosh.
Brenay came into court with 19 items, or what you call them?
Pieces of evidence?
Yeah, pieces of evidence. She had 19. Akira had almost 800.
Oh my God.
Come to find out, this is like they said, this law is in North Carolina, but there have been 2 more cases where the wife has won more money, like $2 million and $3 million case in North Carolina, where they have found, a mistress has caused the husband and wife to split up.
Wow.
So this is one of the smallest amounts that have been won in North Carolina. But what happened was, because this young lady Brenay was so popular on social media and how she was flaunting the kids around and flaunting Tim around, that all of these TikTok people, these TikTok social people, came to the courthouse. So it was like 50 people live on TikTok every day while this case was going on.
This is crazy. Thank you for coming up. Good God.
Yeah, so it's extremely messy. And when she won the verdict, Brenay said she'll never get any money.
Right.
And there was one point where Tim showed up to court with a pow. He showed up to court with a pow and got arrested in court. He was already on probation. He got arrested in court. Brenay showed up every day with, like, they said she had Temu clothes on. Man, I've never been this engulfed in social media mess in my life, but it was so crazy because it was coming from everywhere. Like, you scroll on Instagram, you know how you once you type something in, your whole algorithm becomes that.
Yes,
So it swept me for like a whole week. I was watching this trial going on live, and Brenay would just get up there and she would lie. That she would lie, said that their marriage was over, And so Akira's attorney will come up say, but didn't you see this text message where Akira was talking to you about how could she better things with her husband, and at the same time you were sleeping with him? Yeah, it was really messy.
So she deserved that, but she's a fool. I think this girl is going to get her money.
Yeah, she's going to get it.
She's going to get it, especially if you getting that TikTok check. All she got to do, and now we know you have no intention to pay because you said it on the news. You can't be this stupid.
Right. And so Brenay just bought a house in North Carolina. So come to find out that Akira can seize her house if she doesn't pay the $200,000 first.
Okay.
And so Akira, one other thing, Akira went and purchased a 6-passenger van, Kia van. The very next day, Brenay went and purchased that same van.
Woo,
that Akira had.
She was
so it was like what is that? Single white female.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like that. Brenay showed up with black hair the first day of court. Akira had red hair. The next day, Brenay came in with the same color hair as Akira.
Woo! That girl is sick.
Yeah, she's pretty Looney Tune. But this story I'm glad it's over so I can get back to my normal life. Because I wasn't doing no work. I was just watching this mess. My daughter got me so caught up in this.
Oh my God. Well, she was, how stupid are you not to hire a lawyer though? Like she really thought, and then I heard they got into it when she cross-examined Akira. I heard the judge had to step in during the cross-examination because they was going at it then.
Yeah, they got into it. He removed the jury from the box a few times because Tim had sent Brenay a picture of his meat, and they showed the picture in the courtroom as a part of the evidence. It was it was pretty bad.
But you know what though? I really will never understand. First of all, that girl is evil. That you have no place to go. First of all, they're cousins. I couldn't even imagine dating my ex's cousin, let alone marrying my ex's cousin, right? But then you had nowhere else to go. They let you move in. And I hate to say this, people, but don't move nobody in with you and your mate.
That's right. That's
Do
right.
not move nobody in with you and your mate.
And one last thing, Diva, somebody remind me in the comments. Brenay has a twin sister.
Shut up.
That has a child. That Tim was sleeping with her sister.
So Tim is the community ping.
Yeah, so Tim has a baby by Brenay's twin sister.
So she not only did her friend dirty, she did her own twin sister dirty.
Right. And all of them went to high school together.
So your nephew or niece, whatever they have, your sister had, like that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Is now going to be related to your husband. It's like
they're cousins and brothers.
Cousins and brothers.
Yep.
Oh my God. This is a mess. And you mean to tell me there was no other men in North Carolina that they could have got involved with? I mean, the pool can't be that because, listen, Brenay, both of them are beautiful girls, right? Brenay could pull herself together a little more with the right bra, whatever the case may be, but nothing is wrong with either one of these girls. I mean, Brenay, seriously, you couldn't find nobody else?
Yep. So that's why she won. And Devin is going after Tim. Their trial starts in January.
Well, I'm going to stay connected to it. You done brought me up to speed. I don't even need to show no more of the Law Order, the Lord's Crime thing, because you done pulled it together for us. I appreciate you. So
no problem.
Well, the Don had taken all my talking points because just like him, I have been invested in this whole telenovela between this community because it just seems like there's every time you think you got the story, there's another piece that's added to it. I don't think the only thing that I didn't catch if you said or not, the Don, is the way that Akira found out was she found a video that Brenay and Tim did. Speaking of things that they had been doing while Akira was not home, and that's how the whole affair got exposed, and it ended up where Devin and them moved out. Devin and her had moved out, but this is a whole hot mess. I believe she will be getting her money. I don't understand how she has 3 point something million followers, and because as I was going through the trial and watching, I would go to her TikTok and see, what her videos were about. They didn't seem, interesting, enthralling, or something that I would want to subscribe to. I'm happy for Akira that she's the victor, and I want her to just have an amazing life and stomp on their necks as you close that door on both those losers. And I think this is she has been Brenay has been obsessed with Akira's life, I think, for quite some time. It's not only just been the hair, it's been the looks, from nose rings to outfits to tattoos. It's just been it's been unhealthy, a relationship between all of them, but especially the two women. But I'm happy for her. I think that this was exposed, the messiness of it, and I don't think the story's over. I think this is going to continue, honestly.
Well, the sad part about it is that Akira has children by this man, right? So her kids, that is her kid's father. And I really think if Brenay has been copying everything that Akira is doing, this girl is mentally, in my opinion, not stable. And God only knows, now that she knows she owes this money, what she will be capable of. I would literally get, if I was Akira, I would get a third party to drop my kids off if the court say that they have to go see their father. I would get a third party. I don't even know if I would trust Brenay and my kids being around her. It's scary. I didn't know how much it was. Like, in Diva, you're right. She's not right. She's not right. I don't know, I don't know how this is all going to pan out, but I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it. I mean, for you to move in and then you sleeping with my husband, and then you get all this kind of crazy, it's just sad. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva, but he's the main benefactor. It's him. It's the women too, but it's him. He is a nasty piece of joke. You in this, the lady working, you at home having relations with her sister.
Not her sister.
Cousin.
Not her cousin. No, hold on, Katrina. Don't confuse it. It's not her cousin. She was just friends with Akira.
Okay, that's a friend, but then the other one is he was messing with her sister, right?
No. So slow down. She was friends with Akira, and then Brenay was married to Akira's husband's cousin.
Okay. Thanks for bringing me back. Because LaDon told me so much of stuff, girl. I'm trying to put stuff together.
Tim was married to Akira, got divorced and married Brenay. But Brenay has a twin sister.
Okay, that's what she come out. Okay.
Brenay's now husband has a baby with.
Girl, what soap opera is this? What's the name? It's gonna be the Sluts and the Hussies from North Carolina. This is a soap opera. This is some sick mess. Why would you want anybody that has a connection? Because you was out on the street, the folks took you in, and he and now this is so nasty. This is nasty on all levels. And the only ones that gonna suffer is some kids. And as you saying right now, Diva, this woman is unhinged. You going and get yourself to look like this woman? This is some crazy mess. And with the housing whatsoever, now she might not get up. They might not make her sell a house because if they do that, you have to go. You can file a writ or whatsoever, or she can file bankruptcy and keep her house and her TikTok money. Because if you file a bankruptcy, the judge will make you pay a certain amount, but they can't take it all. But from my point of view of it, they need to take it all. And I remember a case like this long time ago. It was a white couple on, I love my stories, on Lifetime. It was a Lifetime movie. That was the first case that I ever heard about somebody winning for stolen affection. And then why he ain't paying? Is he paying something? Is he paying too?
But they marry, so either way, it don't matter. It's their money. They out the money, but it don't matter if you listen.
It's just sick, man. That's some sick mess. That's sick. That's totally sick. Y'all sharing. This is so sick. And ain't none of them using no protection. And then you wonder why we have such a high STD rate. This is sick, mental, and just nastiness. It don't get no worse than that. That's all I got. I'm sorry for confusing it first, because Don told me so much of stuff. I'm like, this person, that person, come to court. That was a lot. But we appreciate you, Don. Yeah, he told us a lot, girl. I'm like, well, you tell him about this woman coming to court, that came to court, one coming in T-Moo outfits, one they getting heckled at. This was sending her crazy tail up on TV saying you ain't gonna get the money. How dumb are you? First of all, if I'm not gonna pay you, I'm not gonna say it on TV, because the judge might make me pay you just because you just said it. Might make me pay you quicker than what I'm supposed to. This is good luck to all of them.
Yeah,
this is sick, but that's all I got.
Thank you. I'm gonna stay connected to this story. And now that I know that now the what's her name? Brenay's ex-husband is about to sue Tim. I'm here for it, and because I think that in this society, I feel like people are so disrespectful to marriage these days. And I think we got to start by pulling the morals back together. And if the only way that morals can be pulled back together is by some lawsuits happening, then I'm here for it. I really just truly believe that people need to stop disrespecting the marriages, and that's including the people that said the vows. But if you want to be a female or a male that is dating somebody married, then you know what? You catch the fever then. Now,
don't get married. If you're going to cheat, then don't get married.
That what God say. You know what, though? If you change your mind later, just file for divorce.
Yes, because what God say. What God put together, let no man take under. And these folks is not going by the Bible. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So, and if you decide you don't want to be in that situation, then get out of it and get a divorce. But my warning to people is, ask questions before you get involved with people, especially because unfortunately there's a lot of people now that are taking people's lives, and they're like the third wheel in the situation. And sometimes they don't always know, because people will lie to you in your face. No, I'm not married. No, I had a situation, but it's all good now. And then next thing you know, somebody coming and pound you, and you like, what happened? I'm telling you right now, I don't want nobody's husband. I'm good. Let me roll into the next story. This next story is this funeral situation. Very, very sad. It's just sad. Let me share screen. So you think you can dance star Joshua Allen brawl breaks out in front of his open casket, which is so sad. So they knew his family that he was dealing with mental health issues, unfortunately. It was said that he took his own life by walking in front of a train. They looked like they had a beautiful homegoing service funeral for him, and unfortunately there was a fight. A gnarly fight broke out in front of So You Think You Can Dance star Joshua Allen's open casket over the weekend, and it caused tension amongst the family. Let me see if I could play this here. Let's see. Okay, give me 1 second because it flipped to another screen. Screen.
She shouldn't be. She should not be.
1 second, it'll start over.
You make me walk up like I say. No. She ain't got to go to jail. We'll get an alley, baby. You know you ain't it. Look at her.
Oh, no. She fighting. They fighting.
Show them the paper what to do.
A darn shame. Let me share screen again. Hold on 1 second. So we watched the video that's circulating online, and you can see a young female leaning over the casket when all of a sudden the older woman pounces on her to pull her back, and an all-out brawl breaks out. The shocking situation took place in his Texas funeral Saturday, and the Fort Worth Police Department tells TMZ authorities were called to the scene twice and stayed until the funeral ended after their second visit. No arrests or citations were made. The altercation has drawn a divide between each side of Joshua's family, because his father, Eddie Powell, told CMZ the woman leaning over the casket was Joshua's girlfriend. He alleges members of Joshua's mother, Angela Talbot's side of the family, assaulted her while she was simply trying to place a note on his body and kiss him goodbye. Eddie adds she was his heart. She was trying to help him get mental health treatment when the police got involved instead. He also says she had hopes of marrying him. Eddie further claims the woman received direct permission from Joshua's mother to attend his services, adding, she came in peace. She showed nothing but grace, patience, and love. At least one person who attended the funeral has said online that the woman who received the brutal beating is actually his ex-girlfriend. TMZ has reached out to several family members on his mother's side for clarification. So far, no word back. When the news broke, the 36-year-old professional dancer was struck and killed by a train on the last day of September. His father, who says he did not attend the rest of his funeral service due to the violent altercation, tells TMZ Joshua struggled with mental health issues for a long time before his death. That's Joshua there. That's Twitch, who unfortunately also took his own life. Josh rose to fame after winning So You Think You Can Dance Season 4, where the late Stephen Twitch, the boss, placed second. He went on to star in 2010's Step It Up 3D and 2011's Footloose remake. Eddie tells TMZ Joshua was more than a dancer, noting that he was a beautiful soul, a man fighting battles too many people ignore. That's what I want people to remember, and not this whole debacle of a fight. Wayne, your thoughts? Wayne, are you there? I don't know. I can't hear you. All right, I'm not hearing Wayne. Julius, your thoughts?
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can.
So as a retired dancer, not professionally, but I did the classes. I know a lot of good dancers, and it would break my heart to see this at any one of their services. If the girl had permission to come and she came in peace, and then someone walked up to her and threw down right then and there, that would have just, they did the right thing calling the police. And it's a shame that the police had to stay, I think, to the remainder of the end of the whole funeral, the article said. Right? To basically babysit, because folks don't know how to control themselves. And his own father didn't want to come because of the violent altercation.
He didn't want to stay for the rest of the festivities because of
that. And that is a problem. For his own father did not want to stay because he was grieving his son, because he was feeling like more foolishness is going to happen and I don't want to be a part of it. And this is not what my son was about. People need to control themselves. Whatever problems or beefs you have with people, when you are at a funeral, that is not the place to do that. If you got a problem with somebody and if you feel like you're gonna throw down with somebody, go to the gym, get in the boxing ring, put the gloves on, duke it out that way, and be done with it. That's it.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva, we have far too many people disrespecting people's funerals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the last place that somebody should be out there fighting or, doing, as you know, on the way to my mom's funeral, we get hit by a drive-by. Just luckily, nobody was taken out. And at that point, we wasn't even in the family that they were supposed to be pow-powing anyway. We was the wrong family. And, like I said, God was over us. His Jesus' blood had us covered, because my whole family could have been wiped out. It's just sad. And I seen another family that the man came out there and pow while the people were standing out there. I seen a funeral where the lady went up. I guess she was supposed to be the man's wife or girlfriend, whatever, and the son, whoever, knocked her into the casket. This is so ridiculous. If you're going to come to somebody's funeral, because your emotions is already running, and to bury somebody that you love, and then you got to deal with bull crap on top of that, that's crazy. If you're going to disrespect me, don't disrespect me at my family funeral or somebody that we're putting away. Handle that on the street somewhere else. That's not where it's called for. That is so ridiculous and so disrespectful. And if I was the dad, I wouldn't have left my son. I wouldn't have left my son's funeral because I know they had a repast afterwards. I would have made them leave, because you're not going to disrespect my son while I'm already going through that. I wouldn't have left. They would have left. That is a sad situation. People are already feeling like there's nothing else they can do, because that's the final thing. That's the final stage that the people are going through. And you can't bring that person back. You can't do none of this. You can't do it's sad on so many levels, and people are disrespecting funerals big time. You got one funeral where this guy was dead and he's standing up at a club. They had him standing up. He was dead, and they dancing all around. Like I said, I feel sorry for the family.
On this
I know. I feel sorry for the family, and I feel sorry for the father. And rest in peace to the young man. That's all I got.
In peace. And I feel sorry for the girlfriend. Regardless of who didn't like her or did like her, that was not the place to be snatching her up and trying to beat her down.
Her too.
Yeah.
It was nothing I think this woman could have done that would warrant being attacked in a church at a funeral service. Now, when you read the story, you mentioned that, I don't know if it said the older woman did it. Did you say who was the older woman?
They didn't really say.
Okay.
I know the older woman, the one that had the white hat on, she's the one that got up, snatched the girl up, and started beating her down.
That speaks volumes about her. No class, no nothing. It's nothing. And I'm glad they did call the police, because you never know with people. You never know who got pow-pows on them, and this could have turned out to be a brawl. But this lady, the older lady, she needs a talking to, because now this man's legacy gonna be remembered by, there was a fight at the funeral. That's what the family's gonna remember, and the people that were there. So she definitely needed talking to. That's it.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
Diva, what I got from this story is that this young man didn't have a good support system around him. He was already struggling with some apparent mental health issues, but if this is how the behavior of his family, his loved ones, are, where they run from 0 to 60 in an instant. I don't think that they were capable of assisting this young man. And I agree. This wasn't the time or place to confront the young lady. I believe the ex-girlfriend. If she wasn't welcomed, it should have been done outside of the church, at the home, at the repast or something, but not in the form of violence either. So shame on the family for attacking this young lady, um, and just this a funeral is the final, is your final goodbye, your final connection with the body, the physical body of your loved one. And for them just to have this type of memory, and now it's all over the news and social media, and your family just, it's just disgraceful to this young man's legacy and career and who he was. So shame on them, absolutely shame on them that they did this during that time in a church. No respect for the house of the Lord either. It's a disgrace. And these were seniors. I could see these were friends and or young adults, teenagers that behaved in this way, but these were adults, senior people who put hands on each other in church because someone who was connected to this young man felt the need to come say goodbye to him. They couldn't even give her that. I don't care what she did while he was here to them, or what their disdain was towards her. They could have allowed that moment, and then if she wasn't welcome, pull her to the side and let her know it's the time for her to exit. But this was unfortunate and a disgrace.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. A disgrace. And it was the older woman that got up, and she had to be, I'm going to say, someone like high up in the family, because she was in the first row of the pew. And you know that in the funerals, no matter where they are, the family members usually cover the first two rows, depending upon how large or small the family is. So she was in that first row with that hat on and got up and snatched that girl by her shirt, which is just so crazy to me, and very sad. We're going to go ahead and roll into this last story with the 10K. It was an auntie move. Yes, it was. It was very sad. And like I said, she could have got addressed at the repast, okay, but not over this young man's casket. Just super sad. So, and I do agree with you also, Savannah, when you said that, obviously he didn't even have anybody good surroundings for him to be going through this mental health, because you see how the family at his funeral over this girlfriend. So very sad, right? So man loses 10K of jewelry after airline forces him to take part in increasingly hated travel ritual. And airline passengers said he lost thousands of dollars worth of jewelry and valuables before flying. Which is Oshawa resident Stafford Gordon was flying to Jamaica from Canada with his wife on American Airlines flight. The couple was headed to the island for a memorial service and to celebrate their 34th wedding anniversary in August. Gordon packed 2 expensive watches, jewelry, suits, and shoes in his carry-on so that he could keep the luxury items with him at all times. He says an airline employee grabbed his carry-on suitcase at the gate, then asked Gordon his seat number before walking away. He just took the bag and stepped away and left, he told the news. Gordon never saw his suitcase again. When he and his wife landed in Jamaica, Gordon learned that his bag and all of his lavish jewelry had completely disappeared. That's him. That's his wife. I found out they had no record of my bags. Nothing. It was gone, Gordon said. Gordon had been forced to check his carry-on luggage at the gate, and after it was lost, he had to attend his loved one's memorial in travel clothes. Gordon collects expensive jewelry and watches. He estimated that he lost $10,000 worth of clothes and accessories in the airline mix-up. My jewelry alone is worth at least $8,000, he said. When Gordon contacted American Airlines, he was told to provide receipts for his lost luggage. But since many of these pieces were more than a decade old, Gordon didn't have any record of purchasing them. He walked away with only $1,272 for his missing cargo. I need adequate compensation for my loss, Gordon said. He told the outlet that the airline completely disregarded the list he made detailing what went missing. And he got some pictures of his jewelry. Okay. He wants his money. He wants his stuff back. Let's take a quick listen.
It's an unfortunate part of flying. There's always a chance your checked luggage could go missing.
It's why if you have something extremely important or expensive, you may want to keep it with you in your carry-on luggage. Here's Pat Bourne and Consumer Alert. Pat.
Thanks, Andrea and Nathan. An Oshawa man went to Jamaica in August with his wife for a memorial service and an anniversary party. He had expensive watches and jewelry in his carry-on bag. He says the airline forced him to check the bag and then lost it.
You knew you had expensive stuff in that bag, which is why you wanted to keep it.
That is why I wanted to keep it.
Stafford Gordon of Oshawa is a collector of gold jewelry and luxury watches. In August, he went with his wife to Jamaica for a memorial service and to celebrate their 34th wedding anniversary. He took 2 watches, jewelry, suits, shoes, and other items. He used a carry-on so his suitcase would stay with him at all times. But at the last moment, an airline staffer took it and said it must be checked.
He just took the bag and stepped away and left. Called back and said, "What seat are you in?" And I was like, 23. And he just left.
Gordon says when they got to Jamaica, his suitcase was missing.
I found out that there was nothing. They had no record of my bags, nothing. It was gone. So I had to attend now the memorial in my travel clothes.
Gordon flew American Airlines, and when he complained, he was told to provide receipts for the missing items. But he says some of the jewelry and watches were 10 to 20 years old, so he didn't have them. He estimates the missing goods are valued at $10,000.
My jewelry alone is worth at least $8,000.
When CTV News reached out to American Airlines, a spokesperson said, "Our team has been in touch with the passenger to learn more about their experience and address their concerns. We are working with them to come to a resolution." In the end, Gordon was compensated $1,272, which was not enough for him.
I need adequate compensation for my loss.
You have a carry-on allowance. The airline has to honor that.
Air passenger rights advocate Gabor Lukash says Gordon should have been given $3,000 as a starting point, and if he can prove the value of his items, he should get much more. He advises Gordon to take the airline to small claims court.
If the airline takes your baggage, they are liable for your baggage. They have to deliver it back to you.
Gordon says it was a frustrating experience, and he still wants more compensation for his lost carry-on. And when flying, take photos or video of expensive items you have with you. If you're told you must check a carry-on bag, you may want to remove valuables, medications, or important documents in case it does go missing. On your side, I'm Pat Foran.
I believe him. I don't think he's trying to bamboozle nobody. In a statement to CTV, American Airlines confirmed that they were in contact with Gordon. Our team has been in touch with the passenger to learn more about their experience and address their concerns, and we are working with them to come to a resolution, a spokesperson said. Gordon's wife, Karen, ridiculed the airline on social media, calling their policies unreasonable and deliberately cruel. She also alleged that they refused to compensate the couple for toiletries, shoes, or the luggage itself. Gate checking carry-ons is a decisive airline practice. In many instances, airlines insist that the passengers check their bags for free when the plane runs out of space in the overhead bins. That is true. Experts recommend that passengers travel with valuables and their personal items to avoid losing what might be irreplaceable. American Airlines advised that passengers label carry-on luggage in case it has to be checked in. The Daily Mail has contacted American Airlines and Gordon for further comment. I'm on Gordon's side on this one. Julius, your thoughts?
Ooh, he has some nice jewelry though. I'm on his side too. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I'm on his side too. I like it's just kind of, I mean, I know if I was to have jewelry That was like, I wouldn't have the receipt from when I bought it. Let's say I'm way older than I am now, right? I wouldn't have a receipt 25 years back due to like cleaning my home and all of that, and also not just keeping clutter around. I hope he is fairly compensated, but but I do have to say he did learn a lesson now to take inventory, to take pictures going forward. This is what's in my bag and this is what's missing and I need compensation. He's going to be doing that going forward, especially going overseas.
Thank you, Julius. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva, I'm just trying to figure out. He said the man just came up to him and took his bag, and he never seen his bag again. Okay, did this happen in the airport, or did it happen on the plane?
No, it happened on when you walking in to take your
through the little gate thing, right? So he should have cameras showing that they took his suitcase. And if they got that, even if his jewelry ain't in there, he could say it's in there. Because how you just gonna take my bag and I don't know where you taking it? You don't just take somebody you took and ask him what seat he's in. That's crazy. I've never seen them do that. Because the plane is already loaded with the luggage, so you're not gonna get it on that flight. And for you to take my suitcase, my bag, and ask me what seat I am, and I never see my bag again, even if his stuff ain't in there, I would say it's in there because you should have never did that. And there's no way they can prove it wasn't in there. There's no way they can prove that it wasn't even in there because of the procedure and how they did it. That is crazy. You don't just take somebody's stuff and ask what seat, and you never see a person back again. And as I said before, that plane is already loaded. They unloaded that plane. That plane is getting ready to take off. So I don't blame him. Get your money because they shouldn't have did that mess like that. No way. That's ridiculous. And not telling him where his stuff is at. I mean, that's crazy. So you went and looked through his bag and seen what was in there? You're not even supposed to open his bag unless it's going through through TSA. So I don't blame him. Get your money, little man, because they did the same thing to me, Diva. Delta will take your stuff and they'll have it at this little flea market that they got in Scottsboro. When they take your bags, no, you don't come get it. And they told me my stuff was lost. My stuff was right there in Scottsboro, Alabama, at Delta Flea Market. They have a flea market. But I hope he get everything that he's supposed to get because they should have never did that man that way. That's all I got.
Thank you. Cheryl, you make a very good point. My girlfriend tracks her bags with those Apple AirTags. So put an AirTag on your bag, people. Wayne, your thoughts?
I worked at the airport, and this don't sound like none of the protocols we did. It looked like his bag may have been oversized for the overhead compartment. Okay, and if they do get your bag, if you bring your bag to the front, they tag and they give you a receipt. They'll just take bags. Not only that, if they pay him for his stuff, everybody's gonna be saying, I had this in there. I had people tell me their checkbook, they had gold and all this stuff in their luggage and want us to pay for it. The other thing too is that if they lose your bag, they instructed that, look, if wherever you're going, you buy what you need to get by. Like he was going to the funeral. He could have went out, bought a suit, did everything he had to do, kept his receipt, and airline would have replaced it for him. But how are you going to expect somebody to just go on your word that it was in your bag? He could have stopped him right there and said, I have some expensive things. My medicine is in my bag. Let me get it out. And they would have done that. So this was just an expensive lesson to learn for him if he did have it in there. Because anybody could say, oh, I had this in there. I had that in there. And get reimbursed for it. Didn't we just do a story with a lady? She was a politician or something like that and said she had $10,000 worth of jewelry in her car. You don't have no pictures, no receipts. That's your fault. It ain't their fault that you bought it 10 years ago and you don't have the receipt. That's your problem. Now you can't showed them nothing that you had, and you only got $1,200. That's your fault. I don't have no sympathy for them. That's your fault.
Oh, good gosh. Savannah?
Well, I'm with Wade on this. I have no sympathy for Gordon. That's like flight lesson 101 is you don't take expensive jewelry and pack it in your luggage. I know for a fact also the government had issued a travel warning to all Americans that were traveling to Jamaica in June, because this summer we had a girls trip going to Jamaica, and we had to do the advisory warnings and report to our leadership about us traveling to Jamaica because the U.S. had put a ban on there. Not the whole country, but there were certain communities where armed robberies and theft and other things, attacks were going on against tourists that we weren't, they needed to make sure we weren't going in. So for Gordon to be traveling with $8,000 worth of jewelry, and some of those pieces should have been insured. So he should have had insurance on some of these diamonds if that was the case, if they really were in the suitcase. And then he wants $2,000 for clothes that are over a decade old. Sir, really? No. I have no. This is a lesson learned. I don't know who he was going to go flex or floss in Jamaica with, but that's flight lesson 101 is you don't bring your expensive stuff and pack it in your suitcase. Take all your dummy jewelry with you, things that are valuable to you. You leave them locked up or leave those at home. And I think this is something he knew, and I'm side eyeing. I'm sorry, I'm side eyeing Gordon.
Thank y'all. I am Go 50. You are correct. He did have the carry on. All right. And I hear everybody's thing, but this is my opinion. I'm not side-eyeing Gordon because I think that he got bamboozled and ripped off by one of those American airline employees. So I have been on, whether you call that the runway, where you're get ready to get on the plane. And usually what they will do, if you're one of the people that are still on the line because you didn't have first class, you didn't have business class, and you wasn't one of the people in the upper seats on the airplane, they'll let you know we are running out of overhead room. You can check your bag. Please check your bag and we will not charge you. But as Wayne stated, they will give you a ticket. Thank you, the Jetways. Okay. Thank you, Wayne. They will give you, they will tag your bag and give you a ticket. I think that this man got bamboozled. And I think American Airlines needs to pay because I think they took his bag because he had his valuables in it or whatever, he made sure he had a carry-on. I think they took his bag and he probably just got like, oh my God, okay, what's going on? What are you doing? And then they yelled out to him, what's your seat? And then that was it. And then he gets to Jamaica and it wasn't his bag because I think they stole his bag. And it's a shame. And there are, unfortunately, a lot of these TSA agents and some others, they will steal bags. I did a story where this TSA agent, because the woman had an air tag in it, she followed the air tag, and I said I thought that was very dangerous. She followed the air tag and led her to a house, and in that house, in the what do you call it, the backyard, it was just piles of suitcases that this TSA agent was stealing from, the airport. So
I remember that. I remember that.
Remember that story? And so I feel like he got bamboozled, and it wasn't his clothes. He said his jewelry, and he just seemed like when he was talking, he just seemed legit. He was like, listen, I collect jewelry. This is what I do. And I had it. And listen, I don't have receipts from stuff I bought 2 weeks ago because I'm like Julius. I just don't like clutter. So once I know I'm going to keep something I'm good, I'll get rid of it. But I will also say this. Unless you have scanned in the receipt, I found old receipts that I just had that I just forgot to throw away. And they just faded out. I couldn't even tell like what I bought on that receipt or whatever. And as the consultant said himself, at bare minimum, when it's your carry-on and they can't find it, he said it starts at $3,000. So where this $1,200 and whatever came from, that in and of itself is not right. So at the best, they should have started at $3,000. And I'm with Gordon. He needs to take them to small claims court because what they did was just dead wrong. Grabbing his bag and did not give in. And he gets to Jamaica and there's no bag. It's messy. Yeah, he needs to fight this. Come on, Day. I'm with you. He needs to fight this to the bitter end. And since they gave him a headache, forget about the $10,000. Let's start at 20 and some free American airline tickets. Listen, people, I appreciate y'all for being here.
Can I say one more thing?
Good luck, Gordon.
No, but see, the thing about it, Wayne, what I'm going to say is, even if he didn't have jewelry in there, he could say he did. Because the way that they took his bag and didn't put it on the flight, didn't take it, didn't do anything. And you know, when you get up there, when you're going through TSA, they'll tell you is your bag gonna be able to fit. But they took his bag. And it's on camera, got to be on camera because they took it right there at the airport. They took his bag and
there's no cameras on that jetway that I know of. But
I'm just saying, Diva, they should have did that man like that. I ain't saying he told a lie, Wayne, or not, but they shouldn't have did that. It's just ridiculous. They shouldn't have did him that way.
They shouldn't. They did him dirty. Listen, people, I'm gonna stay connected to this Brenay TikTok star story because now her husband about to get sued. But hopefully they learned a lesson. Get a lawyer this time, y'all big dummies. Okay. The funeral fight extremely sad because now this man's homegoing service, which was supposed to be just a release for everybody, now like someone said. It's going to be remembered like, oh my God, remember when Aunt so-and-so, and I don't know if it was an auntie, I'm just making this up. Remember when the Aunt so-and-so grabbed his ex-girlfriend t-shirt and started fighting her, blah, 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 whatever. And then we got the 10K jewelry situation. I will stay connected. Listen, people, I appreciate y'all for being here. And y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo-choo.